Gonna be the first thing that lines up on the stream due to timing. That said, welcome back to Dark Skies session or series 2.0 entitled Shopping Spree. In the last series, the group got a gig from a fixer named Anika, which led them into a squabble with a cyber psycho known as the Night City Stalker. They defeated him. Went into a gig that involved them driving south towards the border of the two Californias. They completed that gig. It went over pretty well after a small skirmish out on the open road. They headed back into Night City, parted ways. The girls went to the Astral Sea and hooked up with Greece and a group of individuals who were ready to throw down on some scab killing in Haywood, specifically the Glen. And they did just that. Killed a bunch of scavs, did all the side gigs, and got a pretty solid payout. If you watched that episode, you would have heard me state that they would have received a $60,000 payout. That was actually cut. They would have received 30% of that due to the fact that there were two fixers involved. They were receiving their cuts from that percentage. So they've got a bit of money to play around with, even with that being the case. Calvin, his family got invested in a job that was actually attached to the job that they just had. It went over swimmingly, and with a call in and assist from Carbon, they were able to make it so that the truck vanished and disappeared. They've got some, and then Carbon had his own little deal that he was doing with another netrunner. That said, after all said and done, couple of things we need to correct, because I have said some things in the past couple of streams that were incorrect, and I just want to make sure the record is straight. So we started the game in game time, October 6th, 2045. That is correct. Somewhere during the Astral Sea session, I said October 20th, incorrect. It was just me, dumb. It's something I had in my notes for future reference. So October 20th is now known to be an important date, potentially. So October 6th would have been day 1, October 7th would have been day 2, and the lead up to the driving job, and then the 8th would have been the day after the driving job, which would have been a Saturday, I believe. And then October 9th and 10th are Sunday and Monday. We will be doing basically nothing for those 2 days, with the exception of acquisitions and plotting and planning. A lot of this session is going to be just the group thinking about what they want to do with their ill-gotten gains, and potentially investing in one another or just themselves. Probably more of the latter than the former. To better themselves and ready out their kit, making themselves more lucrative to potential employers. That said, a couple of things that kit-wise did come up that have already been thrown out and are on there is Crystal acquired a Tsunami Arms Helix, which in the Cyberpunk Red rulebook states it's an assault rifle. I'm slightly disappointed with that, but that's fine. I have changed it only slightly. It will count as an assault rifle, and it will follow the rules in the book. The only difference is that instead of using regular assault rifle ammunition, the Tsunami Arms Helix will be utilizing shotgun ammunition. So that's just a correction on my part. The reason that's the case is because in olden times, the Helix was a minigun that shot shotgun shells. It's so magical. I used it in everything. It's a thing. Anyways, that change. Calvin and his gig acquired a Militech 20L autocannon, which is normally a tripod-mounted weapon. The one he acquired, however, is used as a weapons mount. So it does not have a normal firing system, um, even though I don't think anybody in the group could utilize it because it requires a body of 11. Um, the weapon has already been mounted to Calvin's Thornton, and it's mounted in the bed on the back, and there is an integrated system inside the back seat that if you interface plugs connected to it, you can utilize the weapon backfiring 180-degree um, angle from the back. I think that's it. There are a couple new programs on your Netrunner, which we'll deal with, we'll get into, and definitely an avenue for more acquisitions here. So I believe everyone has the book. If not, we can no, everyone does have the book. Um, and that said, um, we're looking for purchasing. Um, and most of this is going to be handled um, with you kind of just going over um, the, the lists and deciding, if there's anything in particular you want. The night market appendix, I believe, is on page 340 of your book. If you want to turn to that page, and there's it's kind of broken out into sections: melee weapons, range weapons, weapon qualities and examples, weapon attachments, ammunition, different types of ammunition, exotic weaponry, different types of armor, general gear, fashion, street drugs, cyberware, cyberdeck hardware, programs, home defenses, services and entertainment, lifestyle, and housing. And the thing I want to point out too is on housing, um, a couple of you live um, in in residences. I believe Carbon and Odette live in residences. Your rent is paid out for 2 months, so that means that you are paid through until the end of 2045 for your establishments. Some of you are homeless, I guess is the best way to say it, Crystal. So you may be investing in possibly finding a more permanent residence with the cutter that you managed to acquire this last week. And
In a room with me.
some of you live outside of the city. There's probably no reason to change that unless you're wanting to invest in the city a bit more and break away from the family a little bit and make it a little bit more of a uh, I don't know, adventure.
I like watching the dust bunnies and the.
It's fair. It's an hour or so drive every day, so I mean you're commuting to adventure, and then
Oh, that sounds terrible to the real me.
in the middle of the night, when it's like 3 a.m. and everybody's done partying, you're like, all right, well I'll drop you all off home, which takes another 30 or 40 minutes. Then you're like, I gotta drive all the way to the middle of nowhere. So you get home around 4. So I'm presuming after all that's kind of gone over for the last week, your Saturday day and your Sunday day are probably spent sleeping for the most part. Like with everybody, and you're kind of partying kind of over the course. I'm assuming that it's been a bit more tiring or
Sounds like the
tired
real me.
times. I don't know, maybe you party all the time. You just live it. Sleep 1 hour a day. I don't care. But that said, page 340 is where you kind of want to start looking. Most of the prices will be listed there. If it's something that you think you might be able to purchase right now in real life or something close to its equivalent, I'm not going to have a problem with you acquiring it. If it's something that's a little bit niche and probably something that's a bit more um, probably more readily available in Cyberpunk in its reality than it would be in our reality. But it's something that's a bit upmarket, like weaponry. Then we'll have to discuss who you're contacting and how you're acquiring that. Fixers can help you with that. Uh, Execs or corpos can help you with that if you know any. Um, if you don't know any, definitely make some calls around to see if you can't find out if anyone can help you acquiring certain things. I do know there was interest in cyberware in side discussion. So, Odette, Sagan has a contact. You'll note that there's a little pip listed as Sagan's contact. And this is the guy he typically will buy cyberware off of for when you're doing jobs. You, because of this contact, are purchasing at a 20% discount for cyberware. And if you're selling it out to someone, then you're making a bit of money off of it instead of it just being, buy for price and sell for price. Um, so, that said, yeah, is there anyone who wants to kind of ask any questions about anything in particular, without diving too far into it? Anything that you're thinking about getting, like just from playing video games, or like doing stuff that you're like interested in, you know, getting.
I want my spider legs, my
Oh
spider
God.
arms.
So that would be under cyberware, I believe, and yeah, I believe that. Let me see here.
There.
Um, Cyberware, page 358. We're looking at. I want to say that for legs, it's going to be a bit weirder. I don't think you can have.
Would they be legs or arms since they'd be coming out of like.
Yeah, they would be arms. So it would be. It would be listed as a. Ooh. So you would want a. Looks like a quick change mount, I think. Um, I know there's a method for putting on extra arms, but I'm not reading it in the quick change mount right away. The quick change mount basically lets you take arms off and put arms on in the mount section. And I could have sworn that there was an add-on. Oh no, here we go. Borgware, artificial shoulder mount. So you can attach two cyber arms over your other two arms. So you'd have an additional pair of arms. Yeah, it looks like it is quite a bit of a humanity loss to become Goro from Mortal Kombat. But yeah, if that's how you want to live your life, I'm not going to tell you no. It does look like it's going to be a bit of a process. That is a hospital surgery, so that's not going to be something you could do in your clinic. It is something you're going to have done for you. It's 1,000 ebb just for the mount. I believe it is 1,000 for the surgery, and that'll be per arm. And if you're doing that, then you're not going to be capable of performing surgeries on other people during that downtime.
Mm. I can also wait on that too if there's other stuff people want to do first.
Okay. That is your main dream, though, is just additional arms?
Yeah, I want to be Kalni Ka from the Hatsune Miku robot. So.
Fair enough. Is anyone else interested in anything in particular? Do you have a dream?
Crystal wants to be able to carry big gun
Okay.
and
So,
shoot big gun.
as we discussed, upping your body is you're capable of doing so in a couple of different ways. Way number one would be drugs, but I don't think it's going to pump you from. I think you have like a 6 body, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to pump you that high. Option 2 is cyberware. There is cyberware that can increase your body that you have put into you. I'm trying to see if it's in red. I know in older editions, muscle and bone lace would basically be a way of upping your body. I did check to see if there was any way for you to spend IP points on that. There isn't. It doesn't appear to be the case. But you could have a implanted linear frame.
Yeah.
And this is different than the linear frames that we discussed before. So an implanted linear frame is going to replace your skeleton and create a support structure in your cybernetic body that would be basically adding to it. And the main difference between wearing a linear frame and being a linear frame is if you're wearing one, it's not going to increase your hit points. You're still going to be crystal. You're not going to be augmented to a point where you're, yeah.
Cyborg crystal.
To get an implanted frame, you need to have a minimum body of 6 and grafted muscle and bone lace. And I am looking for that.
Looks like it's 1,000 EB.
That's for the linear, yeah.
The grafted muscle and bone lace.
Okay. Yeah, so that one increases it by 2. And it's a hospital surgery with 46 humanity loss. So big loss there. That would increase your body by 2. So you'd be at 8. And then if you go for the linear frame, that would be shoot it up to a 12, I think, or a 13.
Yeah.
But
Well,
those are all hospital stays. That's definitely something that she can't do for you. If you want to keep it, local, if you have her plug in 2 interface plugs into you, which is pretty quick and easy surgeries. In the video game, they literally do it in like 3 minutes. Well, kind of. But it won't take long. There won't be that much of a recovery required. And if you have those 2 interfaces and then buy a linear frame, you could just wear it and be ready to go. That's entirely up to you how you want to go. You do have quite a bit of money, so I mean, these are not options. The main coin that you're going to be spending here is time.
yeah.
How
And
much time? Do you want?
humanity, apparently.
Yeah, humanity is also a huge one. The lower you go in humanity, the more likely it is that you become a cyber psycho.
Well, the frame would put me at a 2
And I
out
remember
of 60, so...
Yeah, I remember olden times. The statement is the second your humanity becomes a 0 or gets that low, you're literally just handing your character sheet over to me, and I'm fighting your group with it. Yeah, or whoever's close to that person when they become crazy. But it's not usually that sudden. It's probably something I would role play out. That said, okay, so we have an idea there of what we want. We want big shoulders. Okay.
Big shoulders means shoot more people in head.
You can use that cowboy the way it's supposed to be used. You can use that helix. I mean, these are definitely bonuses for sure. What about you, David?
I would kind of like to have better vision.
Okay.
So like the things can't, like if I'm going quick on the road, things have a harder time of catching me off by surprise. Like I can see farther or better at night even.
So cyber eyes is what we're thinking.
Cyber eyes. I get one cyber eye and still have the same effect.
Yeah. Absolutely. And typically, what people will do is if they want multiple things, they'll do 2 eyes and split the loadout because each eye will have 3 option slots. There are some options that require more than 1 slot, and there are some options that require multiple slots, but from 2 separate eyes. So those options wouldn't be done if you only had 1 eye. One example of multiple slots in 1 eye, you can put a dart gun in your eyeball. Takes up 3 slots, and you can literally shoot a dart out of your eye.
It's a friendly wink.
More often than not, these are poisoned and are pretty good last resort shots. One that requires both eyes to have the pairing is low light /infrared/UV. sightlines. Um, it basically reduces your penalties in darkness, other intangible obscurements, smoke, fog, etc. It doesn't really matter to you. You can distinguish hot meat from cold metal, but you can't see through anything that provides cover. That requires
Actually,
2 slots, but 2 eyes. 2 slots in each eye.
actually, is this a thing that I could get like in a pair of like goggles?
So yeah, there are goggles that you can wear. And I'm trying to see if I can't remember how that goes. I know, again, I'm old school, so I know it exists. I know it existed in 2020, and we're 25 years after that, so it has to be around.
Just have these really like techie goggles on like a brown leather strap, so it looks more rugged, nomadic, and Australian.
Like an aviator set of goggles. That's I
Yeah.
dig it. I
You
would.
need like a cyber didgeridoo that like extends out of the arm or something.
Even though you've never once sounded like an Australian.
I did for like 10 seconds and I gave up.
Not everyone
Then I
can
tried
voice
country and I
act,
gave up.
John.
I mean, you're not wrong. I can't voice act. So let's see. Oh no, blue glass is a street drug. Uh,
Ooh, yeah, give me some of that.
no, that's yeah. I was just shifting through what's purchasable. You can buy drugs if you want. One of you has an air hypo, which can be filled with drugs and used that way. Let's see. I am in Demon Town. That's not where I want to be. So I'm not finding them right off. I'm gonna. Do you know where the goggles are?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna say that if you want to buy a set of goggles that basically function as cyber optics, I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's gonna cost you 500 EB for the glasses, and then it's going to cost you 5 times the cost of whatever options you're putting into it. And I'm going to go ahead and say that the dart gun option and virtuality is already an option in the goggles. Yeah, I would
Really
say
more.
500 for the goggles, and then 5 times the amount of the cybernetics cost to put it in the goggles.
Is virtuality what would get me like the night vision and like the Jordy
Virtuality,
LaForge?
virtuality is what Carbon
Correct.
does. It lets him see net architectures and understand cyberspace.
I kind of want like a better view of reality.
Sure.
Like
I would say you would want just low light / infrared / UV. So we're
Yeah.
looking at. It's going to be expensive. Twice over 1,000. 500. I think my initial assessment of 500 or 5 times the amount was a little much. So we're just going to go with twice as much. So for a pair of goggles like that, 2,500.
25 hundo. Okay.
If you want to throw an extra 200 on there, you can have Chiron heads up display in there as well.
Oh heck yeah!
And you have a
No.
do you have a bio monitor or no?
A biomonitor? I don't know what that is.
Then you don't have one probably.
Dang it!
So 2,700, and since those are a bit of a like niche item, I would say you need to either get in contact with the fixer to be able to buy them, or if you have a techie friend.
I do, but can Carbon do that for me? I don't think he can.
Carbon's not a techie.
I did.
Carbon's a net.
Oh, it's not the same thing.
It's not the same
Oh
thing.
no! Oh
He deals
man,
with, he deals with software.
I
Techies
stereotyped
deal
him.
with hardware. Yeah, techies are engineers, and Carbon is a person who makes money.
All right. Another easy thing I want to grab is just another grapple gun.
Okay, yeah, that's not too hard.
And then this mean thing I want to do is I want to get like vials of poison that I can have at my side, so then I can take out my wolvers and just stab them into the vials, and have poison wolvers.
Okay, yeah, if you want to look where poison would be located, I mean, I guess that's an option. I wouldn't.
Would not recommend.
I would say that because the housing for the wolvers is in a meat
Is my
arm,
body.
it's in a meat arm. There is a potential for the poison getting in there because it's fluid substance inside of a metal housing inside of a flesh body. So yeah, there's a potential that it could come into contact with um, internals and self poison. So I mean, it's not the greatest idea, but I mean, you could definitely try it if you're very cautious. I would definitely be fine with that.
Oh, I saw it a second ago too. No, I don't know where's that. Uh, I'll look for it.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Carbon, you've been pretty quiet. Got any plans?
Yeah, so I got some questions. I'm kind of reading through all this.
Yep.
For my own personal defense, I know I have actual defenders programs, but it also talks about being able to buy a net architecture.
Mm-hmm.
Does that have to do with my own personal self? Like if they attack me,
No.
it'll defend and have floors and stuff, or is that specifically for like a building architecture?
I would assume that would be for a location.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And because we haven't gone over it much, I would say that your location probably already has one.
Yeah. Well, the reason I wanted to ask is because when you fight the Cyber Psycho, I accessed his stuff and he had like black ice and all that in there, but
He
I wasn't
was
sure how that really works
he was
with me.
more robot than man.
Gotcha.
And I would say I guess it wouldn't be impossible.
It still says that I can buy like it still has black ice under all of the like programs I can install on a cyber deck though.
Yeah, I would say that you could basically form a net architecture for your own cyber deck. That would make sense. And if the rules say different, and I find out later that's the case, then we can just work.
Well, that's honestly that I like if I do that, I'm probably gonna plan it outside of the game because that's gonna take some planning because you have to like buy floors and like add security codes and like
It's
all
not,
sorts of stuff. So
Yeah, it's not easy.
I'm not gonna just figure it out right here now. So I was just going to ask that question so I could plan it later.
Perfectly fine.
I might buy some programs though here in a minute, but I'm reading through them all. There's a
Okay.
lot
Yeah,
to
there
read.
are quite a few. There's a program that I've given you that's not on there.
Yeah, I saw it on the thing. Ping.
Yep.
Actually, I did have a question. How would I? Is it a improvement if
Booster.
to upgrade my cyber deck?
Sorry. So if you're wanting to improve your cyber deck, you can't really get it beyond what it's at without. I think there's actual add-ons you can add to your deck, but there's no way to make it a better cyber deck.
Oh, really? Because there's like the poor quality, standard quality, excellent quality, and they have more slots.
You need to buy an excellent quality.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's,
I couldn't find that. That's why I was curious.
Yeah, it's basically when you're like, oh, I'm playing my computer. I can't play that video game. Gotta buy a new
Yeah.
rig. It's that mentality.
Well, I'll try to find if it said. All I saw was buying a cyber deck in general. It didn't say a better one or a worse one as an option, so I wasn't sure how that worked.
Right. Yeah, I get
Like
you. You're
it's-
thinking about like upgrading your own to make it
Yeah.
better as is.
Have more slots for more stuff because I'm already at 6 slots and I want to buy more stuff.
Yeah. I would say buying a new deck would probably be the best bet on that one. You can also buy defenses for your locations. You can pay ahead on your rent. If you're doing cyberware stuff, you'll probably want to also purchase therapy, which will help you with your humanity losses. If you want to be a really dorky kid, you could just start a trauma team account. So if you ever get knocked down, the whole session gets weird.
I can get an internal, basically contraceptive implant.
Yeah. Mr. Stud, is it?
No, this is a contraceptive,
Oh,
so
oh.
it'll prevent unwanted pregnancies.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, if you feel like that's something that would be
Then
beneficial,
then I can get a Mr. Stud.
right?
Or Midnight Lady.
That is also a thing.
Or both?
You could do no, yeah, you could do both.
There are hermaphrodites. That is a biological thing that happens.
I don't know if you're familiar. I mean, like you can do. I mean, there's body modification and alteration in the year 2020 was pretty insane. Like there were in 2045 and 2077 there are like people with three mouths.
Oh.
There
Oh,
are
in other words, if you want a lady dick, you can have a lady dick.
right. I mean, there's nothing holding you back with the technology from being, who
Perfect.
you are.
This is the
Perfect,
future
yes.
that I hope for.
Yeah, you can just be who you are. There's full body conversions as well. That's a bit crazier, and off of the sex side. But if you wanted to transfer your body out of your body and put it in a cybernetic body, that's also an option. And that's more of a physical thing than it sounds. Like they literally rip like your nervous system out of you and put it into chrome.
That's intense. Do you
Yeah.
know how much, like, nervous system there is?
Yep.
That like
Took, like... Oh, go ahead.
99% humanity hit or something.
Oh, it's massive. So it was mentioned earlier, and it's just me being a dork who knows too much, and it's one of the more interesting kind of bits from the 2077 game and its lore. But there's a rocker girl named Lizzie Wizzy who's voiced by Grimes, and she has a heart like malfunction, real life, on stage, and instead of just letting her die, they pull her and put her into a chrome body, and then she finishes the set.
I mean, sounds like something her husband in IRL would do.
Well,
Oh shit.
so no, that's funny too, because like her husband is like behind her back, thinking she's like going cyber psycho, and is trying to have her engram pulled, and she finds out and kills him. It's really weird. But anyways, the point.
Not Elon Musk.
I think it's Liam Northam is the guy's name or something,
Like
Lame.
Liam Neeson, but not.
but not
Oh.
close.
Sounds
Yeah.
like an Elon Musk pseudonym to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I'm
weird.
a Liam.
It's weird how I don't know that's a really weird quest line. But anywho,
Leon scum.
let's see.
Guys, where do you have the money? It's in gear, right? Because
No,
mine seems...
they actually updated their pay or the character sheet. It should actually be on the front page, bottom right corner.
Hey.
Oh, okay, that's where I couldn't find it. I thought I was losing my mind.
And you'll note there that there's a show cash log. If you click on that, it should open up like addable segments. So if you want to diversify your bonds, you can go ahead and put those in different segments. So if you have cash and then a credit chip account and then like a savings account, offshore account, what have you, you can move your money around.
Can we invest in the Cyberpunk stock market?
You can invest in the stock market in this game, yes.
What's the rate of return
shit.
on Tesla right now?
Man. So that's not a question I can ask right now, but I can definitely go back into 2020 books because I remember them having stuff like that in there. They actually had a skill called stock market,
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
but I would have to do some research on that one.
Nah, man. Dogecoin is where it's at.
It's a whole $1 by this time.
Yeah,
It's an entire drop.
Finally.
it's a whole
That would be awesome. I'd have 10K.
it's a whole euro dollar, which is half as much.
It's still like, yeah, it's such a high return on investment.
That's fair enough. But the actual United States currency, I think it's defunct. I don't think in 2045 they still use like the American dollar. The NUSA doesn't do it.
Good for them. They knew better.
Yeah, it fell apart in this alternate universe.
instead of vials, is there a way I could get like bombs and a gas mask?
Sure. So, again,
Big
like,
brain thinking.
yeah, if there's stuff in there that, like, I mean, okay.
I've been looking for like bombs. I can't find it, but it's like
Sure.
it makes sense.
Sure. Apparently, I wasn't. Leaving it open to you wasn't really. Back in the day, what we would used to do is there would be like because Cyberpunk 2020, there was a lot of source books. There were the Chrome books. There was the Blackhand's Morgan Blackhand's Guide to Street Weaponry. There was all sorts of different books. And so we would say, well, what are you interested in? And they would say, oh, I want to be like, I want to be in a robot suit, and from one or the other Chromebooks or the big I can't remember the name of the big metal book, but you could drive like Gundams and stuff. Like
That
there's
sounds
all
cool.
sorts of random stuff back in 2020, and so in this, my I mean, I'm fine with trying to make that certainly be the case, but like the rules at this current stage, because it's a fresh system, are a bit limited. But I don't feel like it's too hard to convert stuff. Sky's the limit, basically, but obviously it's best to just kind of focus here on this. So when it comes to bombs or explosive devices, poison probably would be just vile as is. It wouldn't be like an aerosol or anything, I don't think.
Okay.
That's disappointing.
Let's see. Yeah, you could smear it on a light weapon, and then it would be a torture 2d6 if they fail. Yeah, I would say that as a vial, it's more of a application method.
Okay.
I would say that its statement of being applied to a melee weapon, I would allow that to be bypassed if the weapon that you are utilizing is like an exotic weapon that fires darts. Like if you were shooting the eye dart gun,
An eye dart.
you could apply it there.
I'm gonna pour it into my socket.
If you have like a bow and arrow, which they used to have, I don't know if they still have those. Rambo was pretty popular in like the 80s, 90s, so
Oh shit.
people were like, oh, I want to buy like a Kendachi or like crazy weird. I was that kid actually. One of my first characters had a bow.
No, this works again.
Go Rambo.
This works again because now it's like I'll have like a expandable bow and I'll just poke the arrows into my vial and pop it.
Absolutely. There's different types of ammunition. You can buy poison ammunition for your weapon that goes on arrows or grenades. So look, there we go. Perfect. So if we're buying grenade weaponry, you could buy grenade ammunition. Grenade ammunition does no damage on the hit. Any meat hit by your target must instead attempt a DV13. Resist drugs, torture and drugs. If they fail, they take 2d6 directly to hit points. So, perfect. They've already got you set up. There's poison ammunition for grenade rounds.
Okay. How much is it?
100.
Per?
100 yeah, per.
I need a thing that shoots grenades now.
Yeah, there's different types of ammunition: basic, armor piercing, biotoxin, EMP, expansive, flashbang, incendiary, poison, rubber, sleep, smart.
Oh, I found it. Incendiary now.
Smoke and tear gas. Yeah, there's lots of grenade options for sure. If you want, there you could buy a rocket launcher. You can also buy attachments for your gun, guns. These are good choices. So if you want to I think one of you has a smart gun link. You could start connecting to your guns. Yeah. Being connected to your gun, if I remember correctly, let's see if it's the same thing in this system. You can plug it in. Being disarmed of your smart gun doesn't snap your cables, it just unplugs them from the smart gun. Plugging. Why go through all the trouble? Because when making range attacks with a smart gun, you had +1 to your attack rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I would need like a to add more to the port that I got.
Well,
Right.
I was more directing that towards someone who actually already is ready to be connected to guns. That'd be Crystals. So yeah, she's already built to link up to weaponry. She just doesn't have a smart gun. You could buy drum magazines. You could be a true Imperial Guardsman and buy a bayonet for your rifle. You could buy an underslung grenade launcher for rifles. There are bows and crossbows listed in here, so they're in here somewhere. So you could
Can't
have.
find them. I found the grenade launcher, but I can't find the bows. Oh, I see the name bow, but I don't see a price.
So you got the digital copy. It looks like because you're looking at your screen while you're talking.
Yeah.
If you hold Control and then press F, you should be able to just type in the word, and you can search the whole document and see if you can't find it.
By the way, John, some of these, even just the attacker programs, so not ICE or anything, make reference to your own architecture,
Oh,
like versus Netrunner. So I'm assuming that I actually can create a full-on architecture in my own if I want.
build it.
So we'll talk about that later. But
I mostly researched like how actions are taken and how programs work. So most of my knowledge on that isn't. Most of my knowledge on net running so far isn't about the
Yeah.
purchasing of. It's more about the implementation in.
yeah.
So
Well, I'm interested because I can apparently install black ice on my
defensive.
architecture, and then if they're attacking me, it does a lot of cool stuff.
They have to fight it first.
Not just like, shooting them with frizz bolt and that's it. Basically, a lot cooler.
Awesome. So yeah, it states here that bow crossbow. Bows and crossbows. So they are utilized through the archery skill. Both do 46 damage. They use arrows as ammunition. They have no magazine size. Rate of fire is 1. Hands required to fire is 2. They're 100 ebb for either. Yep. And I know there's another benefit of them, but I don't remember what it is.
I think I saw it. All right, I see it.
And for bows, if you want to buy a poor quality weapon, I see. If you want to buy a poor quality weapon, it'll cost. Looks like it'll cost about half of what it states that the normal weapon would be.
What page do you see that on? I want the good one.
Yeah, if you want to buy an excellent quality one, it costs a lot more. But all the weapons we have so far are standard quality, so just normal, run of the mill. It's on page 342 for the quality pricing.
I'm go.
Yeah, this is mostly just a paperwork session, but we got to do it. So I think that Elizabeth is pretty set on a plan, body wise. So let's go ahead and see if we can't handle her. That said, do you want to go with the exterior linear frame, which was a quick solution? Probably get that popped out in a couple of days. Or do you want to try and go for the long surgery course? And again, downtime, you can have as much as you like, just keeping in mind that if you spend a couple of months under the weather, you're not making money. You're just being ready to make money later.
Right. How long is the recovery?
Sorry. Michael, no matter what happens with everything, buy a body weight suit. I believe you're going to want one of those. Okay. because you don't have one. But I just remembered that's a thing you probably want. Back to you.
Oh.
Sorry.
How much humanity loss did you say the
So you got to plug
frame?
up. So it'd be 2 plugs, 2 interface plugs, and then it would be that's it really, because you already have a neural link. So
Yeah.
for 2 interface plugs, you're going to be rolling 4d6 humanity.
Mhm.
So the humanity that you lost pre game, that was rolled by me. This will be rolled by you. So you'll be rolling 4 6-sided dice, and whatever the result is, that's how much humanity you would lose.
Okay.
And then
And that's just from the external frame.
that's just from the external frame. Yeah, if you just
Okay.
go for the 2 interface plugs.
Hmm.
And the price on those will be 500 ebb per plug, and then 500 ebb for the clinic surgery. If you're getting it from Odette, she can get the price of the plugs cheaper, unless you. Sorry, don't want to speak on your behalf, Stephanie. Unless you're not cutting her a discount. If she's paying you the cash, then you're actually making money off of her. Or are you going to buy it for her at a discount and just have her pay you the surgery cost?
If she gave me the money, I could buy it for her at a discount, and then she could just kind of like, I don't know, give me a little bit to install it.
Okay.
Okay. And then the big boy one, how long would she be down? You're saying months?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I need to find the exact.
Because I didn't see that.
No problem. It's not in the buying section. It's actually under the cyberware section. It's let's see. So we are looking at cyberware.
Just want to know what I'm getting into.
Oh, absolutely. I understand. Okay, so if we are going for that full kit out, you need the muscle and bone lace. You need, and that's a hospital visit.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna need the linear frame installation, which is another hospital visit. I don't think they can do both simultaneously.
It's 2045 and they can't do them simultaneously.
Yeah.
The point of a dystopian future.
Pain.
I mean, you know, you're not wrong.
For 6 cyberware? I mean, geez. Okay, so hospital visit means the work requires major surgery and a med tech capable of doing the work. This also requires a full hospital or the nearest equivalent, which is relatively rare. It doesn't state a page for. I'm gonna just search hospital. Trauma team. So, going to the hospital. Advances in medicine. Da 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 da. When you check into a hospital, you are only charged 100 ebb per night. So there's that too. They really nickel and dime you for
Apparently.
cyberware. It's not really telling me. It's not really telling me how many days it takes.
It's all good. We'll just go with the Neuralink. They're the little pluggy doos,
Okay.
and the external. It's still cool.
Yeah. Um. Huh. Okay. So if that's the case, then she will need to make two um, checks, and if you are doing that, the difficulty value of the check will be 15 for you, Odette. And that'll be a surgery roll. So when it comes to those, if you go to your front page, down in the kind of middle line there, it should have a surgery option for you, which you have a rank 3 in. Um, so that said, um, if you are if you are having Sagan help you, he's going to require payment of half the cyberware's cost, which you're going to be paying him, and he's going to be buying the cyberware. So when I say half the cyberware's cost, I mean what you're receiving back from the patient. So he's going to want 250 in that regard, and then it's 500 for it'll be 250 rather that he'll be wanting for the assist. Having him assist you means you're going to have a +2 to your roll. So it's pretty big. It's not super massive, but it's not nothing. Um, if you want to make sure that he gets paid and continues, working with you. So that said, do you want to have him help out?
Yeah, I'll cut Pops in on the deal.
Okay. So then we'll go ahead and start. The scene is you're back at Odette's clinic. It's you, Sagan, and Odette. They've got a pretty big, medical chair with all sorts of devices and kit. Looks like they're preparing, and Odette's office, as was explained in the intro, is very clean and tidy. So the two Ripper docs are cleaning up and getting ready, and have instructed you to sit in your seat. And they spend a little bit of time cutting into you and installing the first of the two interface plugs, knowing full well that you're planning on using them to install up with a linear frame, which if you want to have paid for already and gotten, I would say that those wouldn't be too hard to find through your Biotechnica connection, since they use linear frames for dock work and stuff. So you can go ahead and buy that pre-game, and they know where to put the stuff. So yeah, that said, Odette, go ahead and make a surgery roll. Nailed it. They work together. That's actually +2 more than current. They work together and manage to basically drill a hole in your neck and connect it to your neural-aware processor, and you now have a nice little kind of silvery kind of round disc on your neck with a hole in it, and you can pull out a cord that can attach to things, or you can pull cords and attach to it.
Cool. And how much was the frame, by the way? It was 500, right?
I don't know. It's in there
Or
somewhere.
the Neuralink. The Neuralinks are 500 each, right?
500 floats. Okay, so you're running. We'll make sure we get the cost right.
Right.
So, Stephanie, you're wanting to. Are you charging her full price, or are you giving her a discount? Simpler.
She's gonna front me the money so I could buy it for her, so it would get that 20% discount.
So then the 20% discount on the 500 per, so it's 1,000. We're looking at 800 for the plugs, and then you're going to have to pay at least 250 for the surgery. How much do you want for your cut on the surgery? That 250 as well.
I'll do it for 100 since she's my pal. So
350 for the surgeries. It's going to be a total of 700. So, Crystal, you are out. Let's see, 700 plus 800. You're out 1,500.
Yeah.
And then Odette, you are up 200. And we basically did that. We popped that out in a little under a couple of hours, based on what I'm seeing here. And go ahead and roll me 2d6.
Let me enter this before
Sure.
I dumb. Okay. 2d6. 2.
That's how much
That's-
humanity you lose.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Okay. If you're feeling good about it, Sagan and Odette are both basically very courteous, bedside manner, high in this house. They say to you, if you're ready to go, we can go ahead and do the one in your arm. That's fine. And so, Odette, go ahead and roll me another surgery. That's +2, remember, because you paid for it. So yeah, the two of you work together, and pretty basic installation. So now you have a small kind of hole here, and you can kind of press here to pop it open and pull out the cord.
Like Spider-Man.
Sure.
Spider-Man.
You can also connect things to it. So this is on your left hand, and then on your right hand you have the subdermal connection. So if are you right-handed? Is Crystal right-handed?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So you basically have like a patch of kind of weird real skin on your hand here, and when you place a smart gun into your hand, it will connect to it. It'll kind of pop out and connect to
Cool.
it. So that's not a connection that you can kind of link up to stuff. That's the one on your left hand. This is just for guns, the right hand.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So roll me 2 more d6. Not
Another
bad.
6.
Roll an average. So yeah, if you're not feeling out of it and you don't feel like you want to, deal with it, they finish the job, Sagan cleans up, and that's it for that part. David, is there anything that you kind of mustered while they've been cutting on each other to maybe vie?
All right.
Cutting it up. Get it right.
Let me see what I've gotten so far. The standard level of the excellent bow should be 500, and then for each ammo type is 100 each. So if I were to get 5 of each of them, it would be of the poison and incendiary. It would cost me 1,000 on top of that.
Yeah, for the arrows, and you're shooting 100 away every time you shoot one.
Yeah. But it's cool.
Cool arrows aren't cheap, and then basic ammunition is not expensive. I think it's like, I don't know how much it would be for arrows, but you should be able to find it
Where was it?
in that same ammunition
Page
section.
346. And then the anti-smog mask said it's only $20. That
Yeah.
sounds too cheap.
Buy one.
Oh, basic is 10.
Anti-smog mask is something you can buy anywhere. The bow and arrow is something you can buy at any sporting goods store. The ammunition, not exactly hunting ammunition, would be something you'd have to go through a connection. Who do you want to call to try and get that kind of weaponry?
Ghostbusters.
I only know Anika, really.
Okay.
I had the one job with...
If you give Anika a call, she'll say, I don't usually deal on that side of it. That's my other half that usually deals with the explosions and stuff. Didn't you get a chance to meet him? Zigzag?
Zigzag, the guy who gave us the Biotechnica job?
No. Oh, you haven't... Oh, I guess I'm pretty sure that your friend Odette and
It was us.
Crystal met with... no, I'm playing the character.
I'm just interjecting.
Wow. Anika forgot who Crystal is?
No, I didn't get to say it because Stephanie explained that it was us.
But that's just leaning over my shoulder listening to my phone call.
Creeping.
That is something she would do. So
Odette and Crystal hung out. I'm going to go ahead and fling his details over to you, and you can go ahead and give him a call. Just let him know
Alright.
Nika sent to you.
Would he also be able to help me with the goggles? And I just grab the goggles I want?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I could probably throw together. I've got a tech that I know, but I'll go ahead and push it through Zigzag so that it's all coming from one person. No problem.
Cool. That puts me at 37 at least. Plus.
Alright. If you call Zigzag, he has a rather awesome French accent that I'm not going to attempt to replicate.
Oh man, you
And-
should try it.
Aw, I'm disappointed.
It was so good.
It was.
I
If you could do a Russian, he kind of bordered on Russian sometimes.
you know what's funny about that? You say that he actually played a Russian character that bordered on French when he was playing in our but the time before this one in our Friday game. So that's actually hilarious to me. And I'll make sure he knows you said that. That said, you call Zigzag and he goes, "Hello, do not recognize."
Got a lighter in his thumb.
I do not recognize your number. Who is this?
The name's Calvin. I'm a nomad
Oh,
friend
yeah.
of.
Calvin, oui. I remember hearing about you. You are with the Gibson family, yes?
Yeah.
Oh, great. What can I do you for, eh?
I'm looking for some arrows that are poison and incendiary.
Oh, this is shit we probably shouldn't be talking about on the phone. Okay,
All right.
I'll meet you where you're at. Just go ahead and ping me your deets. And then you send him your address. You meet him downstairs. And he asks you what you want. He tells you he'll be back in an hour. He sends you a text saying that he's on his way back in an hour later. This is probably shortly after she's gotten herself ripped apart the first time. I'm assuming you're in the city hanging out with your friends. Am I wrong? Yeah. Or you
Yeah.
just- okay.
Yeah, I just ducked out. Fuck you guys. I'm doing my own thing.
Smells like blood in here.
Mean.
And he comes back with 5 rounds or 5 arrows of each and the goggles.
Thank you, sir. Here's the cat.
No
Send it
problem.
online.
Yeah, you flip him the cred through the connection that you have with him, and he says, "It's a great doing business with you.
Much a pleasure.
If I get any jobs throughout the week, I'll fling them your way. Your friends were, well, let me tell you something. Do not fuck with Odette if she's got a shotgun in her hand, okay?"
Odette!
I'm
Oh.
shooting.
Fire.
Crystal probably has cooler toys, but Odette has a bit more of a fuck you face.
A je ne sais quoi.
He says fuck you face in French, whatever that would be. And you're like, that sounds fancy. Ooh, wait.
Oh, French.
This is city time now.
He
I
did
ain't heard talk like this before.
When he rolled up, though, he did roll up in a vehicle that looked pretty snazzy. It has smart glass windows, which, if you're not familiar with smart glass, it's metal, and basically the interior is a display screen, and so you can kind of see out because of cameras, and it's bulletproof.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the mastery.
Wait, Zigzag had a car this entire time?
It doesn't look like he is driving.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait.
It does look like he is being driven around, and you would see that the driver of the vehicle, when the door opens, on the inside, would
It's
be
David!
no, it's
No.
a Asian gentleman. Looks like he has kind of like shiny blue eyes, like blue eyes. But yeah, he's driving a really fancy car. He wasn't on Friday.
Oh. Boy got an upgrade.
Good for him. Driving that
Yeah, we stand.
2013 Toyota. What was it?
I think it was a 2013 or 2017. It was a piece of junk. Toyo Chevrolet.
Ancient.
Garbage car. Anything else you want to try and get together?
That's all I really had my eyes on right now. Basically, was the ability to see better.
Do you want like a better armor, Jack? Do you want
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what does -2 reflex, defense, and move mean
That
for the
means-
medium armor jack?
That means while you're wearing it, your reflexes are treated as being -2.
So it's not like okay,
It's just a hard penalty.
it's not
to
a
your-
permanent negative. It's just on my rolls.
Yeah, it's a hard penalty to your stat for the purposes of rolling. Were you looking at Metal Gear?
Of course, I looked at it. The name.
Metal Gear.
But no, I wasn't gonna get it.
What the fuck are
I
you
like
talking
this
about?
story.
I'm talking about piss and shit. And you're talking about some Japanese shit I don't give a fuck about.
It's funny because it's accurate.
Metal Gear Awesome. That was a classic. Remember Flash?
Oh, rip,
And
Flash,
now
rip in peace.
Ripperino.
there's supposed to still be sites that run it though, or like
I don't
There's like some people have like I guess archived some of it.
Hmm. Yeah, there was a whole like campaign for that.
seems
good
silly.
people.
Why they won't just sell the program out? Corporations
Right.
are weird.
It's because it's Adobe.
Yeah. I won't complain too much because I use Adobe, but
Oh, I'll complain
Fuck
about
'em.
them all day. Yeah. Their their program hasn't even kept up with like the modern technology.
no, not at all.
Clip Studio Paint has been like pounding them into the ground as far as like vectors and like Photoshop goes. So like it's basically like Photoshop and Illustrator combined.
That sounds really good. And how much is
That's good
Plus,
to know.
it has 3D. I think its current, like the regular program, is like 50 or 60 normally,
Hmm.
but it regularly goes like on half off,
Oh,
and
right on.
I got it for like 40.
But it's a
Yeah.
one.
Like a-
it's a
yeah,
one
It's
time.
a one-time
Time.
purchase. Like you
Oh.
pay that, and then that's it, and you get unlimited upgrades.
That
And
sounds
then
dope.
they also have like the pro version, which is like only 140, which still in comparison to like buying Photoshop and Illustrator
Yeah.
separately back in the day,
I think
you're
I paid-
only paying like 140, 150
I
one
think I pay
time.
like $12 a month for Photoshop,
Yeah.
and the only reason I still keep it up is because of the Patreon. Like, if
Mm.
I wouldn't be editing images and being as cool about it if it were that. But that program sounds dope.
Yeah.
Plus the pro version
highly
on sale for like
recommend it.
$50.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll send you a link.
Right on. Well, you may have lost a customer, Adobe, if you're watching.
All these
Suck
people
it.
trying to go subscription based is like, really? You hate us that much?
Yeah.
Stick it to the man, John.
It reminds me
They
of like
also have a cloud service too.
reminds me of Sim City.
Oh yeah.
Today's sponsor is
Clip Studio Paint.
Oh, I wish. Maybe one day. I don't know. I mean, it's a huge reach. 3 viewers, and I think a couple of you are actually in there. And also LRS Spider Monkey, a bot that is talking in.
some like Eldritch
What?
language.
Yeah.
I'm not a bot.
I'm pretty
Don't
sure.
call me a bot.
I'm pretty sure that is.
I want you to become famous.
That is heresy. That is all that is. That is a lot of heresy. But that said, so during the first day, some acquisitions here, some purchases there. I definitely don't want to leave you hanging, Michael, but it does look like you are getting work done behind the scenes. I just want to make
Yes.
sure. Have you come to any purchases besides that bodyweight suit that I mentioned?
Yeah, I have a list.
Okay.
I am going to go ahead and get the excellent quality cyber deck.
Okay.
That's only 1,000.
And that's purchasable. It's something that's kind of behind the counter and in the back, but you can purchase that at an electronics store.
Okay. Then I want to get a backup drive. That's going to be 100.
Same.
Hardened circuitry,
Mm.
100. Insulated wiring, 100. Range upgrade, 100. I'm going to get the Hellhound black ice, the bodyweight suit. That's it. Totaling 2,900.
Okay. So the programs are more. Most of the hardware you can purchase pretty much just off the street. The programs purchasing out, you'll have to go through Runner Friend or Fixer, and you have 2 Runner Friends at current. There's the nameless one that's in Japantown, and there's Red Eye. Or you can talk to a
Yeah.
Fixer.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna try to talk to Red Eye here, and
Do you call her?
yeah.
What?
Hey, so I'm trying to upgrade my cyber deck. I needed a few extra programs that I was thinking of.
Yeah, I was wondering why you didn't call sooner. I'm assuming it takes you a long time to figure out a list.
Well, all I'm looking for really is a Hellhound.
Great. Well, our mutual connection should be around the Astral Sea this evening. It's probably going to be pretty quiet, it being a Sunday and all, but I'll make sure he has a data shard for you. Just send me
Awesome.
the details on what you need. And then she skips
Absolutely.
off the phone.
Yep.
And you can see that your contact with her deletes again.
Yep. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the rest of this stuff while I'm here and everything before going out to grab the Hellhound.
Yeah, and it's basically like what you would expect from 2045, Geek Squad, like tech desk. They're all talking and they're like, yeah, this is what you're gonna want. This is what you're gonna want. And you're like, shut the fuck up and give me what I told you.
Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up.
The C word. Oh, what happens to Betsy? I don't know.
What hurls?
Do you listen to that?
I don't know.
Hey, I'm the one who karaoke's him, so.
I'm not a cool kid. I don't know. I might know, but I don't know right offhand. That said,
It's Joji.
it's what?
It's Joji.
Oh, then
this
I
pink
should.
guy.
I do know that. I do know that. So, anyways, any other purchases on Sunday or no?
I would love to get a Malorian arms, but it is 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not happening for a little while.
I want my spider leg blades coming out of my back, but I don't know when we can do that, so I can hold off.
Was the grapple gun something I had to go through someone for, or can I just get that?
That you can buy.
Okay.
Sporting goods store.
I went to Rick's. Sporting
Rick's.
goods.
Sporting goods. Oh wait, no. What's another sporting goods store besides Dick's?
Play it again, sports.
So play Dick's Sports.
Play Dick Sports.
Or Dick's Again Sports.
Fix again.
Most of the 2020 logic was these two companies merged. There were a lot of mergers in 2020, so Toyo Chevrolet, there was just a bunch of mergers. So
Is the Taco Bell McDonald's war canonical in this universe?
they might have drawn inspiration. Demolition Man might have drawn inspiration accidentally from Cyberpunk in that regard. It was just mergers, but
Is
Dick's
the medium armor jack? Sorry.
medium armor jack. What about it?
Is that something I can just grab anywhere?
It would be something you'd have gotten off the fixer,
Okay.
but he would have been able to get you it, no problem.
I'm
Okay.
hoping I'm doing this right. You can tell me if I did it wrong.
Sounds accurate. Now, another thing too that I wanted to point out is I know that Elizabeth messed around with it, but I don't know if you all got a chance to. But I did the math, and it was easier to just round it out to a nice even number: 160 improvement points. You can spend those to upgrade your skills, and to do so, the pinned post right now in our channel shows you that chart. So IP, or improvement points, to raise a skill one rank from 0 to 1 costs 20 points. If you wanted to have a skill go from 0 to 3, it wouldn't cost you 60 points. It would cost you 20, then 40, then 60. You gotta buy the 1, the 2, and then the 3. But if there's some skills that you want to upgrade, or take since you didn't have them before, hint hint, archery, if you're gonna take a bow,
Yeah.
BTW. Some of you might want to take auto fire as a skill. If you're gonna start shooting your guns in auto fire mode a bit more, it is a separate skill to shoulder arms. These are heavy weapons is definitely a good choice for some of you, since you're kitting yourself out for that. But yeah, I would say at the end of Sunday, from what it sounds like, you're kind of practicing, kind of training, and focusing on things that you're doing. Crystal, I assume you're probably up on the roof of Odette's building in your linear frame, testing it out, kind of doing drills, lots of squat thrusts, lots of kind of runs and jumps up onto the random air conditioning and stuff up there. It's working great. Carbon, you're probably just sitting there with like a flashlight in your mouth and a screwdriver in one hand as you're kind of putting stuff together, and then after that you're kind of just sitting back and doing like the addition of programs. Huge nerd mode. Probably putting sweet stickers on your cyber deck. Sounds like something Carbon would do. Odette, you're probably sitting there looking at a magazine with spider arms in it, just kind of longing like
One day.
One day.
And Calvin, you're probably driving home because that's literally what you're doing all the time because you don't have a place in Night City, you weirdo.
I could sleep in my truck if I had to. In a pinch, I could just sleep in the back of my truck.
Hey, I'm always down for roommates, guys. I'm lonely.
I think you have two
Just
beds.
got pops.
I think you have 2 beds in your apartment, actually.
I do.
Yeah, so you could have one person stay over indefinitely, or
Just constantly get challenged to Scrabble and Yahtzee.
Yeah.
God.
It's a fun time with our debt.
Forget about paying rent. That's all you have to do.
well, you have 2 beds. One is your own, and then you have a couch.
Mm-hmm.
So you could technically have 2 people over.
Please come be my family.
And
She's cool with letting me crash her once in a while. I'm down to crash.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be the guy on the couch.
Yeah.
That's that guy who sleeps on my couch sometimes. Oh, okay.
I sleep on a couch at home anyway.
I mean, yeah, probably back in the camp, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that being said, though, how many skill points do we have right now? Because there are some skills I'd like to
IP, you currently should have 160.
Oh, okay. Let me get my calculator out.
Yep.
Where do I see that?
And then
should
so...
be- IP
Oh,
is in
sorry.
the bottom left corner of your
Okay.
first page. And yeah, if you note, I didn't get into any purchases for Odette. Sorry about that. It did seem like you were busy cutting up on Crystal throughout the day on Sunday, though. And I assume sleeping on Saturday based on the party mentality. I mean, you went from like 4 or like 6 a.m. in the morning or 9 a.m. in the morning all the way to late as heck with that gig. That double gig day.
And was hungover, so
Yeah.
there's that.
Oh yeah, you drank so many shots.
Saturday was
Crystal didn't even get to get one in.
Saturday was hydration and sleep day.
Just laying in bed with a Gatorade.
Yeah. And the Ripper Doc Clinic doesn't stay open on Saturdays anyway, or Saturdays or Sundays. You do the 9 to 5. You guys are as professional as you can appear. You and Sagan. But yeah, that said, Monday will probably be more of a shopping day for Odette. If you have any plans on that, and like I said, 160 IP to increase your role rank, which is important here. You have your cost there. Now, for you, Odette, if you want to increase your surgery, it's that role rank score doubled. So if you want to go to a 4 in surgery, it's 240 points. It's expensive.
I'm confused. Where does the 240 come from?
So do you see on the chart says skill improvements?
Improvement points or...
Here, hold on. So I'm going to post this again, and it's the costs for increasing ranks in skills and role ranks.
Okay.
Now, medtechs have segmented underneath their medtech role ability, surgery, pharmaceuticals, and cryosystem operation. So if you wanted to increase, your role rank, medtech, from a 6 to a 7, it would cost you 420. 420. Hey.
Oh shit!
If you wanted to increase your surgery, it's a segmented role ability, but it's doubled. It costs twice as much. So if you wanted to get a surgery rank of 4, you would need to spend 240. Or sorry, twice that amount. So 480. If you wanted to get pharmaceuticals up from a 0 to a 1, it'd cost you 120. And so on. But when it comes to skills, I would say for you, based on your playstyle so far, first aid might be a beneficial one to throw money into. I would say, let's see.
Sorry, I'm kind of on the D&D line of thinking. Does performance skills act as like a buff in any way, or is that just like a situational kind of skill?
Performance?
Yeah, like play instrument or something like that.
So no, that's just to play an actual musical instrument. So if you are wanting to play an instrument, that would be that. And no, it genuinely has no like magical benefit. You aren't barding out. But if you're wanting to do something socially that involves you playing an instrument, i.e., you want to play a gig, you're gonna have to roll play an instrument check. And that's what Rocker Boys primarily kind of focus on, like those kind of skills. Not saying you can't do it.
But there's no, like, yeah, okay.
No. So, okay, when it comes to combat and, like, all that stuff, there is no benefit to any of this. Because it just depends on what you want to do. If you want to play a guitar, you're going to need to play instruments, so you should take it. If you want to shoot people in the head, you're going to need shoulder arms or handgun or heavy weapons.
It's role-playing, Stephanie. It's for fun.
The skill goes towards an objective thing, not a...
This is a lot of pressure, okay? Alright, I feel like I'm in charge of someone's life, and I can't handle this.
So I just
Yes, you're in charge of Odette's life.
I just came to
Don't fuck it up.
I came to a stunning realization.
Too late.
I just realized the architecture of your house. That chair right behind you, I just saw Michael's arm come out of it, and I didn't realize... there it is. I didn't realize that it was literally back to back.
That's why they gotta mute each other.
Yeah.
That's only been the last couple sessions.
No, I just didn't... She's so tiny, she's like... she's right behind you, but I can't see her at all, and you're... No, even now, like...
Hey, there she is.
Okay. I just saw arms shoot out from behind her head, and I'm like, did she get the spider arms already?
Yes.
Oh.
This is why I wanted to give Odette the spider arms, because I'm spidery.
You're like, hey, Michael, just stand behind me and do the
Is there a difference between first aid versus paramedic?
Yes. So if we go into the skill descriptions, hold on a second here. First aid is more of kind of like field medicine, I think, or maybe vice versa. Let me double check. No, I gotcha. So paramedics is like, let me get the skill descriptions. I'm just gonna go with that instead of trying to.
I'm assuming it's more like in depth than first aid.
Yeah. Skills. Paramedics is under education or technique. Let's see. Oh,
It's under technique.
Thank you.
Oh, and sorry for 20 questions, but will these automatically like be added to our rolls when we roll things? Or
Yeah, if you click the roll for it, whatever rank it has in there, it adds that into the map. So first aid is the skill of applying medical treatment to a wounded person to treat the most common critical injuries and keep them from dying. First aid is to stop someone on the scene from dying. Paramedic is a skill of applying medical treatments to a wounded person to treat all critical injuries not requiring surgery and keep them from dying. So basically, paramedic is like better than first aid because it's like the upgraded version. A good example of how that kind of streamlines to other skill types is you have brawling, which is like fisticuffs, street fighting, but then there's also martial arts, which is like, like judo or Krav Maga or something crazy like that. Or I think back in the day there was actually you could do capoeira, you could do ninjutsu. Like they had some really cool ones. I don't know how that translates into this current martial arts. Karate, taekwondo, judo, aikido, Page 178. I'm interested in that now. I'm sorry. I'm done. Go ahead. I didn't know there were special moves. What the? Martial arts the coolest. I'm sorry. I want to build a fighter. Sorry. But yeah, that answers your question.
Oh, I see.
Paramedics is like super first aid.
Would it be better to get ones in a bunch of different skills, or would it be better to kind of, or
So
does it?
how it translates is if you're going to make a skill check, it's going to be, if you look at the skill, you'll see in parentheses next to the skill's name, like int 8 or tech 8 or something like that, right?
Mhm.
That's your ability value, and you're going to add that to the roll, and then you're going to also add your rank in the skill to the roll. It's that number plus the rank number plus a d10 roll, and that's the math. So if you think adding a +1 to a bunch of skills and effectively adding a +1 to a bunch of rolls is beneficial, then yeah, go for it. If not, then no.
Is 8 like the highest that you're?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. And I'm assuming 5 is the lowest.
3 for
Oh.
for abilities.
Yeah, for the like one in parentheses.
Yeah, you're pretty freaking good. You
Oh,
picked
cool.
you picked a good choice line. There are 3s, I think, is the lowest you can go. The character creation method we went with was kind of like a hodgepodge between two, Street Rat and Full Build. Since we're new here, I didn't want to give you like 1,000 options from the onset. I wanted to do that now when you had money and felt like you earned it. But yeah, most character creation, or like full character creation, is like this, but from the onset. All right. Do you have anything that, besides skills and spider arms, that you're thinking about buying that you want to have on you?
I was just trying to decide like what kind of things when I get my spider arms, what I want them to do, basically, because I saw there was like a med scanner that you could get, but then I also kind of want to use them as like stabby weapons. So
Sure.
I don't know.
There's something I added to that you have on you. I don't know if you're aware of them, but I think you have rippers, which are basically like talons that extend out of your fingernails, and you can kind of tear into people.
Oh shit!
So they're
Actually ripped into.
there are 3 different varieties of blades in the hands. There's scratchers, which are the tiniest, kind of just always there nails. There are rippers, which extend out, kind of Lady Deathstrike style. Not that long though, or like the tall vampire lady from the new Resident Evil trailer. Sorry.
Yeah, she's all cool and everything, but what about the other ones?
They're also hot, but anyway,
They're better.
I like the tall one because the way she moves is really creepy to me, and I love it. Anyway,
Yeah, it's like one person but 2 bodies. Weird. That's how it looks.
it's really weird. It might be 2 people standing, like one person standing on the other person's shoulders. We don't know yet.
That's how it looks under there.
But
I
anyway,
am just stoked for that game.
She's just 2 vampires in a trench coat.
or in a fancy suit, dress, hat. Anyways, and then there's Wolvers, and I don't think there are stats for them, and it's more of a 2077, like a video game thing. Mantis Blaze.
Ooh, mantis blades on my shoulders. That would be cool.
You already know they exist. The Cyber Psycho had them.
Oh yeah, he
Cyber
did.
Psycho did have them. Yep. Is not incorrect.
Although you just built that in for fun.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, if you had gone about it differently, you could have had access to all of Brightman's cyberware. Like that'd have been stuff you'd own. So if your skill is already at 2, you just pay from 2 to 3. So it'd be, for a skill, 60 points.
Okay, so it's just it's not literally caring about where your skill is currently at. It's just for one level up of that skill would be
Right. If you're moving to the
one. Okay.
number, that's the price. So if you're starting at 0 and moving to 1, it costs 20. If you're starting at 1 and you're moving to 2, it costs 40. And so if you wanted to go from a 0 to a 2, it'd be
It'd be
20 and then 40,
60.
60 exactly.
Yep.
You get
Okay,
it.
so it's what I said basically. It's if it's at 2, I have to pay for the 3.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
If you were going to a 4, it would be the 3 and then the 4, right? Which
How
I
do you
think-
know the difference? Sorry.
I just posted the chart in the Discord. What do you mean, the difference?
How do you know the difference between what is a typical skill and what is a difficult skill?
It'll say it in these sheets. These sheets are actually pretty cool. So if you go to skills and you look at the top right, you should see fighting skills, brawling, evasion, melee, and martial arts. Which one is the difficult?
My martial arts is X2.
Right.
Is that how it works? Gotcha.
It's got a X2 next to it.
All right.
Auto fire is an X2 skill.
But what are the advantages of going higher level in any of these skills?
Name one.
Like archery, specifically, because that's
So you'd have a plus however many points you put into it to the rolls that you make with it.
so with at least one, it'd be my roll plus 1.
Yeah. So for the mechanic again, it's when you roll the dice, you're adding your whatever this ability it says is next to the skill, plus your rank in that skill. So if there was an archery roll right now, it'd be 8 plus 0 plus 1d10. That's the roll. If you put a 4 in there, which I don't think you can actually afford, if you put a 3 in there, then it would be 8 plus 3 plus the d20 or d10 roll.
Okay. Am I a level 6 Moto? Is that how that reads?
Yep.
Ah.
To increase your moto, it will cost you
All my money.
no,
All my money for the next 10 jobs.
yeah, it's
Or IP.
420 to get there. 420.
Get it.
But you can save your IP. You don't have to spend it now. But I know that some of you felt like you used skills that you haven't got points in. Heavy weapons, auto fire.
Sorry, what does auto fire do again? Because I feel like you said that was a good one.
Sure, you're using a shotgun, so it's not great for you. But auto fire,
Okay.
if you're using an auto fire weapon, normally you shoot with the shoulder arms. If you shoot with auto fire, it's a separate skill, and you're firing multiple shots at once. And so, in the case of Elizabeth right now, if she single shots, she's really accurate. If she goes auto fire, not as accurate by 6 points, but she's shooting more rounds down range. So during the fight on Friday, at least, and also the fight on Tuesday last week, she was switching between firing modes because it was more about how close am I to them, what's the risk, how much do I need to put out mentally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pew pew.
Bang, bang.
Head go splat.
Multiple times.
Oh my god, she scooped so many people. And then on Friday, she just kept doing it. She did have some competition, though. There were 2 badass solos on the second floor.
Yeah. They got the chop off his
I
head.
got the chop off his head.
Crystal's a little bit angsty about that, but also a little impressed.
Said she was the one who said, "We'll bring you back his fucking head," and then
Yeah.
she didn't even happen to be the one who did it.
She didn't even get to do it.
It's
She
fair.
could have carried it back though and be like,
It's fair.
well, the boys got it for you, but here it is. Drops it on table.
Any other kind of like connection? Oh, like anything that you want to do, like gear wise. It sounds like a data fortress is being compiled. It's our data architecture. I mean, it sounds like no additions to armor have been really taken into account. That's one thing you might want to think about. A best offense is a good defense. That's mainly pointed at Elizabeth.
Oh wait, what?
You want to buy a new armor jack?
Oh, new jacket.
A new armor jack.
Wait, I don't know what that is.
So if you go to, let's see. Oh, you could also buy vehicles, y'all.
Yeah, but isn't that expensive? I can't afford that.
Oh, it's real expensive.
Calvin already has a truck.
But you could buy a gyrocopter.
Oh shit! None of us can fly it. Though.
Yeah, I can't even fly that. Wait.
You could buy a jet ski.
Okay, now that we could fucks with.
So the vehicle that you're using is
Can't fly that.
for all intents and purposes, I'm using the kind of byline for the high performance ground car because it doesn't seem like trucks are a thing that are really listed on here. But yeah, if you had 50,000 EB, you could buy an AV4 multi-purpose Aerodyne.
I would have to level up to. Wait, that's only for my family motor pool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can drive anything.
You can drive a lot of things, but flying things is different. It's a different skill, I think.
Yeah, I have 0 in that.
Yeah.
Wait, so what were you saying that Crystal needed?
Armor jack. Before I got distracted, sorry. You ever scroll through Toys R Us? I mean, you ever scroll through like all the things that you want to have in your life? So armor jacks are on page 350.
350.
Yeah, you're currently wearing a light armor jack. You would have noted that your boy Shaker wears a heavy armor jack. It does reduce his reflex, dexterity, and movement a bit, but it gives him better protection in combat.
So it's an
Yeah.
armor jacket.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could also buy bulletproof shields. If you have cyber limbs, you could buy. Well, I don't think any of you do.
I don't have. No, we don't have cyber
You do have a
limbs.
pair of cyber legs. You just haven't really done anything with them.
Yeah, no one's put them on.
You could sell them if you wanted to, if no one's planning on cutting off their legs and putting them on.
Could I trade them for spider arms?
So I think price-wise, they wouldn't be too far off, but you'd basically be getting arms that are like the cyber legs that you have.
Oh,
Huh? You muted. Why can't I hear her?
sorry. Realistic arms and not scythe arms.
Yeah, they'd be real skin stuff. They wouldn't look cool. They wouldn't. It's like, I want to look less human. Humanity loss. I don't care about humanity. I want
I want to look like a monster.
I want to be a robot, and then it clicks. I kill all.
Every time anyone mentions they lose humanity, I keep thinking of the meme "Become Monkey."
Oh man. I think I'll fucks with that armor jack.
Well, light armor jack is pretty solid if you want to be mobile and you don't want
Oh.
to reduce your reflexes and capabilities of shooting. But if you want to protect yourself, it's not a bad choice to go ahead and grab better stuff.
Wait, that'll reduce my that'll reduce
By 2.
my pew pew. We don't. What the fuck are my upstairs neighbors doing?
Karate.
What
Did
the
you
heck?
hear them?
Yeah, I did. I thought that was someone's desk.
No, that's my upstairs neighbors. They do this every day.
They're tap dancing.
Karate.
Apparently.
Move all your stuff out and burn the building down.
Oh my god. Sorry. Yeah, we're not gonna do the armor jack.
You could also you could also get an apartment.
Or you can move in with good old Odette, you know.
Odette's got a couch and a bed.
And a
She
bed.
She got a spare bed. Crystal ain't paying no money for no
Fair enough.
house.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair
Her
enough.
parents taught her better.
Yeah, just split the rent with me a little bit. I'm good.
Oh, I thought this was just like a mooching thing.
No! Gotta pay a little bit.
Oh my gosh, roomies.
She'll buy dinner.
They were roommates.
So if that's the case, you are currently paying for a bit of space. You are currently going half already on it. The current amount that you're paying per month is 7,500, which is halved because you are paying half and half with Sagan. So 7,500 divided by 2. If she goes in, she would be paying however much you're going to charge her, but 37.50 is what you currently pay a month.
And I mean, if Calvin wants to move in too, it'd be a three-way split.
I'm not moving in. I'll pay every once in a while for like a
Why you got to do
a place
this,
to
Michael?
bunk.
This ain't no Airbnb.
Why you got to do this? Why are you trying to distract me? Anyway, anything else that you all want to purchase? If not, I'm basically leading into a weekend of shopping and stuff, and then we'll begin series 2 officially, because it's kind of like a prologue session with a job or a series of job offers that might contradict and conflict with one another. So, last call. All right. Well, that's a pretty exciting session. We can go ahead and end it early unless you have anything else that you want to do, say that you're doing, or just get out there into the ether. If not, it's a boring Sunday and it's going to lead into a eventful Monday. All right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, and if you have anything that you want to interject between now and then, hold on a second here.
Little Europe. We can move into Camden Court, guys.
That sounds too fancy.
Look, I have a perfectly good apartment that y'all can share with me.
I got my truck. I don't know how much you're gonna charge me for a night, though. If I crash on your couch.
You know, it's 1,700 a night or 1,700 a month. What do you want,
That's
Calvin?
fucked.
Well, okay, so real quick, if you're wanting to give him fair rates and basically charge him for something that is not too insane, to rent out a cube hotel, which would be the equivalent or superior to a couch, it would be 500 ebb a month. So if you want to just say this couch and this space inside of my apartment is yours whenever you want, so long as I'm available to let you in, you pay me like however much, so long as it's not insane. Obviously, you're not going to charge someone $17.50
Maybe she will.
or $17.25 or whatever.
I don't know my life.
You want this couch? This is prime real estate. We're right here in Haywood, right in the Glen.
I'm down for that.
Here.
If that is an actual deal.
I mean, let's see. What, 7,500 divided by 2? Wait, minus 500.
So 3,750 is your current payment into the space.
Oh, gotcha.
Sagan pays 3,750 for the space as well. He does not live in the space with you. He lives in a separate place downstairs, a smaller cubicle apartment, which he pays separate on his own. But he is paying for the medical space on his side of it, which is why he's granted 50% of all revenue, because he's 50% stakeholder.
So, what my calculation is, if Calvin pays me 500 for my couch area, and me and Crystal split evenly, me and her would both be paying 1,625 a month.
I think so.
1,625, yeah.
Calvin, would you be interested in $500 a month to couch surf whenever you'd please.
I think we got a deal.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. And are you all paying her now? Because she's already paid 2 months in advance. So
We can start when my payments are over.
they get free ride for 2 months, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's my friend's discount.
Oh
I'll
my
buy you dinner.
god.
That's pretty.
You can't eat that much.
I already paid it. Plus, you guys are going to be giving me probably consistent surgery income, so.
This is fair.
Yep. Keep your clients close. What's that?
Then when we're off at some point, she knows exactly what the good parts are.
No. You're sleeping. You wake up and you're like, something feels weird. And you roll back your bed. Your legs are chopped off and are laying in the corner of the bed. And she's like, "Oops! Guess we're gonna need these." She pulls out 2 cyber legs. Guess we're gonna have to install these bad boys.
I
Just
wonder what happened.
Wake up in the tub full of ice. Where's my liver?
You wake up and she's just like staring at you. You know what you need? You need a third eye. Maybe like some nasal filters. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's real good. Let's do that.
That would make you so much better, Calvin.
Oh no.
Don't you want to be better, Calvin?
Terrifying.
Couch is scary. I'm gonna sleep with my gun.
That's okay. She's got one too.
Yeah.
So many pretty parts.
By the end of it, he's like a hecaton theridist, like the 100-handed ones. It's just this pile of arms and beds. Ah! Anyway, if nothing else, you all end up, with the exception of Calvin, who's secreted away in his rooftop apartment. The 3 of you inside the apartment, sleeping, going to bed. We'll be waking up on Monday morning. I'll be throwing some texts and whatnot through to you for Monday morning business and meetings. But yeah, Sunday's a pretty boring day. Couple surgeries, couple purchases, not too much to it.
I lied about like most of the stuff I bought. Apparently, I can't hold all that, so I took off the hardened circuitry, the insulated wires, and the range upgrade. I'm keeping the backup drive
Okay, sounds good.
and the black ice.
And-
That's 10 slots. One of them is my bodyweight suit.
Cool. If you want to purchase your, construct your data fortress, net architecture, just let me know how it goes, and I will study more on that before next session, and we will be picking up then. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream.